A 2023 Harvard study found that out of everything it looked for as far as the root causes to help people have longer, healthier lives, the number one thing the study found that people should focus on is their relationships. So to help solve some of the relationship crisis that we have around the world, I have created this upcoming 3-day eternal honeymoon extravaganza. I am bringing together 15 speakers from around the world in the love, sex, intimacy, and relationship space to help you finally have better passion, have better sex, have better connection, communication, intimacy, and more. And this event is normally $397 and it is on sale right now for $1. So I hope you will prioritize your relationships and join me at this epic event. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. We're talking about sex over the age of 40 in this video. I'm Dr. Diane Mueller, your board certified sexologist and your libido doc. And, sex over this age tends to go commonly one of two ways. It's very, very frequent that many people will get to this age and just say, well, the best part of my sex life is over. Like, I'm just prioritizing other things, and really begin to put sex even more so on the back burner. It's especially common because this age is challenging. It's like a combination oftentimes of taking care of elderly parents and children at the same time on top of career. So with all of these external pressures going on, it oftentimes means that the self-care and the prioritization of pleasure is like really taking the back seat. So that's one path that can happen, sex over 40. The other path that can happen for many people is all of a sudden things change. And things change in a good way. And what tends to happen for these people is they begin talking about sex when they've never talked about it. Many times for women, if they haven't had orgasms or they haven't been very good at orgasms, they all of a sudden start asking for what they need. They learn their body more. They learn how to speak more about their body's needs, and they begin to have more profound orgasms. So there's these very two different paths. And so what differentiates path A versus path B, in part, is intentionality and the decisions people make. So I'm talking a lot about these days. Some of you that are longtime followers may have heard me recently talk about the Harvard 2023 study that showed of all the different things that lead to longevity, that help us age well. The number one thing that has the biggest impact on aging well is our relationships. So this to me is really important when we're considering like, okay, well, are we choosing path A and just saying priority of pleasure and sex and all of this is not that important? Are we choosing path B? And it's one of these things, right? If we don't use it, we lose it. And what we see with those that engage in regular intimacy, that helps blood flow to the genitals, that helps nervous system flow to the genitals, that can prevent things such as urinary incontinence, back pain, because we're working those pelvic muscles and we're keeping them supple and loose. And so those muscles work better, right? Beyond the fact that the vaginal pain can go down. Now, sometimes there's still vaginal pain, and we have a process of working out of that. I do cover that in my book, Want to Want It. That has just been, it's out for pre-sale right now, so definitely look at that. But one of the things we see is that, like I said, we use it or we lose it. So when we are still engaged in this, we're keeping our muscles healthy, we're keeping our circulation better. But even more important in the use it or lose it scenario, really, I think, comes down to relationships. So an activity I love to give to people, if you have not done this yet, I encourage you to do so, because sometimes this activity it's so important for awareness. So if you make a list of your top values, and hopefully yourself and your partner are right there at the top, and then make a pie chart. And in the pie chart, what you want to stick, you want to put 24 pieces of the pie there to represent 24 hours of the day. 7 to 9 of them, hopefully you're sleeping, hopefully you're getting a lot of sleep. And the other ones, you want to write in what you're doing. And here's what I mean by use it or lose it when it comes to your relationship, because it's very, very common that when people do this exercise and they see their value list and they look at their pie chart, the top couple things in their value list don't have space on their pie. And so this is seen over and over again, that if we are not putting effort and energy into our relationships, they tend to not last. They tend to become obligatory. Oftentimes there's resentments, right? Because they lose that strength. Just a quick interlude, because I want to address that it is so common that people are struggling to prioritize their relationships and their intimate life between jobs and kids and caring for elderly parents and so much more. Sometimes it can just feel like a last thing on the to-do list. Now, if you're struggling with that, or if you're struggling with having better sex or having good orgasms or lasting longer or erectile dysfunction or pelvic pain or something else in the sex, emotional, relationship, intimacy space, you are definitely going to want to take a moment right now so you remember to sign up for the Eternal Honeymoon Extravaganza. I have 15 speakers that I've specially curated and picked from around the world for a very complete and holistic look and teachings and actionable steps from everything under the sun, sex, and relationships. So take a quick minute, go click on that link and register to make sure you remember, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now let's get back to our episode. So I love giving people this exercise because it can be that point of awareness, right, that we get, that point of awareness that says, oh, I'm finally going to start prioritizing my person, that this is worth it to me to prioritize this human. Right, that's huge, 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 huge. So I definitely want and encourage you to consider that. And when then you do that, then another important thing is really looking to say, okay, well, how can I bring this person back into my life? And one of the things that I would encourage you, in midlife and sex over 40 is to really look and say, sex-wise, be honest with yourself. This is what I love about this age is the self-honesty around, matter of fact, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, right? If you're, looking at yourself and you're looking at what you like about yourself in the sex life and about your relationship in the sex life, think about it. Think about, do you wish that you would last longer? Do you wish that you would have better orgasms? Do you wish that you would just try something new? Are you bored? Right? Really ask yourself these questions, and you're asking these things to start to bring awareness to okay, well, what needs to be different in order for you to be interested in? And that's actually a really good, important question. So we do want to ask ourselves about those things that maybe we want to get rid of. But even better questions oftentimes are, what do I love about sex? What do I love about sex with my partner? If you're not really into it right now, think about, what did you used to love about it, right? What do you miss about when you used to make love? And the idea with this is you're looking to say, okay, for this part of your life, what would it take to make you interested again? What would it take to bring that passion back? What do you feel like you're missing? And we're looking for ways to motivate you to start prioritizing this and to get this and to get your intimacy life back on your 24-hour pie chart. Because the biggest concern I have for people is that what happens if they don't? Lack of intimacy has been shown in surveys to be one of the top 5 reasons for divorce or for breakups. So we know this is a huge factor that can make or break whether or not somebody is successful in the relationship. Most relationships that are reported to be very happy are having sex on average 1 time a week. So we see the relationship impact there. So there's a lot of reasons to prioritize this. So that's what I'm saying. We kind of have this crossroad where we can continue down this road at 40 and say, well, this is not for me. But then, I would consider, if you're saying that, to say, what's your relationship going to look like in 10 years if that's the case? What could perhaps your pelvic floor health look like, right? What is your reaction and what is your place with pleasure going to be? Do you feel pleasure in your life? Do you feel deep pleasure? And so the idea is, what I'm trying to do here is help you navigate back to path B, to say, what is it going to take to actually get you interested in sex more? If you're already very interested in sex, what is going to, what is interesting to you about it? Do you wish you would, like I said, perform better? Do you wish something else was more optimal? And so we want to start asking those questions and then start navigating to say, okay, let's talk to our partner about them. Now, remember, one of the best ways, the foundational skill to talk to your partner about sex is to start talking about things you love about it, not bringing in anything you want to change, and just be very specific. And if you're not having sex, talk about things that you love about the sensual touch, the way they touch your hand, the way they give you a hug, whatever it is, right? Whatever way you're being touched. And the more you start to talk about the things that are good, the more you're training the nervous system of yourself and your partner to make that association to say, oh, talking about sex is safe. When we talk about sex, we feel good. When we talk about sex, I feel like I'm doing so many things right. When we talk about sex, I hear about all the ways I'm providing immense pleasure for my partner. And we do want to get to a point where we're talking about things other than that, but that is that foundational skill. So when we're saying, okay, well, let's choose path B, the path of prioritizing our relationship, and we're thinking about all these different questions I'm giving you throughout this video. And I would really invite you to really deeply think about these, to journal about them, these sorts of things. And as you're doing that, then we also want to begin to lay that foundational skill with your partner in order to start talking about it. Because 92% of couples that say they have the best sex, they talk about it. So we got to lay that foundational skill for you, right? So we lay that foundational skill and then we go on from there. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you choose path B. Please check the show notes as there's all sorts of links about ways I can help you on this journey. And please do subscribe so you don't miss any of the content that I put out in the world of libido, relationships, and more. See you soon. Ciao for now.